The topic of accountability has been coming up more and more frequently in conversation for good reason. It's not just an interpersonal issue, but a systemic one as well. The dynamics we would find in an interpersonal situation, avoiding accountability, mirror the same dynamics we see within systemic situations, minimizing harm, shifting blame, protecting their image, avoiding responsibility, expecting the hurt parties to carry the burden of the consequences and the repair. So we're seeing this in systems as well. Institutions, organizations, healthcare, technology, politics, the workplace, family systems, and so many more. And we're not talking about mistakes. We all make mistakes. Mistakes are unintended. Mistakes often involve some sort of acknowledgement, some sort of resolution or solution, repair, and an effort not to repeat that same mistake again. For example, if you lock your keys in the car and walk away, you will have a very concrete acknowledgement of this mistake. And moving forward, you will likely check to make sure you have those keys in your hand, thus making a concerted effort to not repeat that same mistake again. A poor choice, on the other hand, has intention behind it. There was thought, there was planning. And what should ideally happen when harm results from a poor choice is taking accountability and moving towards repair. And so this would look something like listening without defensiveness, acknowledging the impact, not making themselves out to be the victim, and leaning into the repair. Accountability isn't asking for perfection. Accountability is the willingness to stay present with the impact of your actions. Instead, when dodging accountability, the avoider often demonstrates what's referred to as DARVO. So this acronym breaks down to D for deny. They might flat out lie, denying their actions completely, or they may deny the extent of the impact, saying something like, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal, or you've put up with worse behavior from your friend. A for attack. They may move to insult you, belittle you, call you names, just generally attack you and your character. And RVO for reverse victim and offender. Here they do a slick role reversal. Instead of acknowledging the concern, the conversation suddenly becomes about their pain. For example, they might point out your tone of voice, or they might say something like, wow, after such a hard day, you're going to bring this up now? And it's challenging not to get stuck into their tornado of blame shifting. You'll likely want to go deep with them. There's another acronym, and Dr. Ramani explains this so well as going deep, this urge to defend yourself, to explain, to continue engaging with them, and of course, to personalize it. When in reality, if someone or an entire system is committed to avoiding accountability, your explanation or your articulation of your pain is not the missing ingredient. The issue isn't a lack of information or poor timing, your tone of voice. You're not too sensitive. The issue is the unwillingness to take responsibility. So whether it's interpersonal or systemic, be vigilant for these same dynamics, minimizing harm, shifting blame, protecting their image, avoiding responsibility, and expecting the hurt parties to carry the burden of the consequences of their action and the responsibility of the repair. Or to keep it more simple, you could just keep the acronym DARVO in mind and keep an eye out for that type of behavior. So when someone causes harm, what happens next? Do they become curious? Do they listen? Do they acknowledge the harm that has been done based off of their actions? Do they lean into repair? Or does the conversation immediately become about avoiding responsibility? Accountability doesn't guarantee a healthy relationship, but the absence of accountability makes it near impossible to sustain a healthy relationship.